What's going on, guys? Playoffs are deep. We're deep in. I haven't done a video in a while. We're down to 3 teams left. Florida Panthers just won tonight. Welcome back, and we are back. I'm glad I waited to do this video. Last night I was watching Jeff Wilson on Sports Card Investor do a top 5. Also, I'm going to be using market movers today as always, or for most of these pricing videos anyways, but I just wanted to let you guys know Market Movers does have a new promo, so shout out to the guys there who are working really hard with their affiliates to get you guys the best deals possible. So what we're able to offer now is you can get 20% off of your Market Movers membership for life. Okay, so if you currently have a Market Movers membership, you can upgrade that and use my promo code, which I'll post up there, should be on the screen. And if you currently have a membership, you can upgrade. Use that promo code and you'll get 20% off for the rest of your life, whichever tier level you are. And with the off season coming up, it's actually a decent time to look at something like this. It's not for everyone. I don't mean to hard sell here. That's not why I'm here. I'm just an advocate for the platform. I really like it. I think it brings a lot of value, but you figure it out for yourself. I think it's worth a try. See if you use it. If you don't, then you don't want to be paying for something you don't use. But, you know, use my promo code if it's something you're going to consider. I would appreciate it. But anyways, back to non-commercial stuff. So I was watching Jeff Wilson last night, Sports Card Investor top 5. Matthew Tkachuk made it in, so always good to see hockey guys there. But tonight, Florida Panthers finished off the sweep of the Carolina Hurricanes, so they're off to the Cup final. And who scored in the final few seconds other than Matthew Tkachuk? Had those big 2 overtime winners, and now he gets the game winner, which was pretty much an overtime winner with 4 seconds left in regulation, and moves them on to the Cup final. So he's having a hell of a playoffs, that's for darn sure. So we're going to start by taking a look at his price. The good Tkachuk Phil and Aleem Nader from my Discord. Shout out to Phil. Go check out his channel, Loud Collector. I'll pop it on there. Amazing guy. He's a Brady Tkachuk fan, but we won't hold that against him. You know, Matthew's a good one, but it's all good. So taking a look at Matthew on the 60-day, he's up about 75% and he's headed to the Stanley Cup Finals. So is this a dream situation? Maybe. What's the play here? Are you going to buy this guy, sell him, hold him? Again, not financial advice, guys, but let's just take a look at data and sort of see if it can help guide some of our decisions and predict some of the outcomes that, you know, may or may not happen. We're just looking at probability, right? Likelihood. So first up, let's take a look at Rasmus Dahlin. So here's Dahlin's history, and you can see his highs over in 2021 when everything was quite a bit higher. But we're going to take more of a look at his recent run here, where his low on October 12th was at about $95 and November 17th. 35 days later, just 35 days later, he ran up 118% to $207, which was the peak sale. So if you have Dahlin at that time, you're laughing. Or are you? Remember, you don't make any money, guys, until you sell the cards, right? It's always nice to have those cards go up in value, but if it just stays in the shoebox and sits there, it really hasn't gained any value. You gotta get those shekels in your pocket. So it doesn't count till it's sold, but let's take a look at that. So just quick screen change here. I got his high over here at $207. 30 days later, it's down to $175, or about 15%. 60 days later, we're over here and it's down to $182, or about 12%. So he's not doing so bad and holding up. And then 90 days later, it's down here to $140, which is down 32% from its peak value. And if we keep following it over, today we're almost right back to exactly where we're started. So again, if we look at all the data, we see the run up and then we see it run right back down to pretty much where it's floated for, you know, the Dahlin rookie card life. So really interesting that we go up that quick and come down that quick. Maybe this isn't news to everyone, but I think some people want to see it and may or may not be surprised. But let's take a look at the next guy. Let's take a look at J-Rob here. So J-Rob, another one of the big 3 of the year with a huge Young Guns 10 run up. And I did warn in my videos back when we were looking at Tage and J-Rob a while back. I'll put a link on that up there that you can click that if you want to check out that video, and you can sort of see what I had to say about this situation back then. But these guys have both run up, and we'll take a look at Robertson. So it took Robertson just 35 days to move from 175 down here up here to about 735. I know it shows 661. That's an average. That's the average weeks sales, but he did have a high sale of $735. So we're gonna flip that. So this was right around when I made that last video, and I said you should be a little bit careful. I guess I'm giving it away if you want to go back and watch, but you know, when you see a run up like this, I said you should be a little bit careful. And sure enough, from December 8th down here until December the 14th, it was down 42%. Okay, so after 30 days to January 11th, it was down 35% to 474. February 8th, it was down to 252, which is 65% down from the peak. And at the 90-day mark, it was still basically down that same 65%. And you know, interesting to note here, if we continue it forward, even with the playoff run, but we have the playoffs starting over here, and we can see his playoff performance was a little bit lackluster, but he's pretty much continued right on down to where we started. If we quickly flip back to the all data, we're looking back in here before the run, so he is still up a little bit, but right back down to where we started. So certainly interesting to note that we just end up almost right back where we began. Now we'll take a look at Tage Thompson, and don't forget guys, please hit that like and subscribe button if you like the content. I really appreciate you guys watching. If, like I always say, if no one watched, I probably wouldn't do this. I mean, maybe I do. Some of it's selfish. I want to see the data and it gets me looking into it. But anyways, I appreciate you guys. Nothing but love. Appreciate the comments. Leave me a comment. It helps me out a lot. It helps others find me. Anyways, Tage Thompson. Now my boy, really like the guy. He couldn't possibly have the same demise as those other guys, right? Well, I guess we're going to be wrong about that. So we'll take a look. Lower pop card here, but we saw Tage move from $160 up to $600 here on December 18th. Thompson held pretty well after the first 30 days, but he really fell the second 30, so he was down 36% after 60 days from his peak, and he was down 47% after 90 days, ending off at about $320 here, you can see on the chart right there. But same demise, same outcome. If we take a look moving forward, we see that again he is up. He's up more so than the other guys from where we started. If we call this point here a start, call it $160, he's up sitting at $245 right now. So he's carrying most of the value between the three of these. And now what we're going to do is we'll take a quick look at the cumulative totals. So here's some cumulative totals we'll go over really quickly, and keep in mind that the average it took from these cards from their starting point to their peak point was 37 days. So it happens pretty quick. And after that 37 days, as we can see, we move down. So we got a peak price here of Robertson $735, Tage Thompson $608, Rasmus Dahlin $207, for a total of $1,550, which is 260% cumulative increase over their starting values. After 30 days, they have lost a cumulative 18%. Not so bad there in the first 30 days, but when you see these high numbers and you see the cards starting to fall off, you might want to think, well, is it going to go back up? I don't know if that's very likely, but what you do see here with Dahlin is he did hold his value for the next 30 days. J-Rob lost about 50% of his value from these middle 30 days, and Tage lost a good chunk too. So the 30 to 60 day mark, you certainly want to be offloading these things cumulatively down to $818, down 47%. Then after 90 days, down to $714. And we've lost 54% since the peak value, and that still actually gives us a total gain on the card. So we would have a $714 value, and we started with $430, which seems okay, and there's certainly nothing wrong with that. The problem is after 90 days, when it's at $714, if this was your portfolio, you wouldn't be comparing it to your start of $430. That's not the way people look at things like this. They'll be looking at this right here, that they could have sold all those cards and gotten $1,550, and now they're sitting on $714, right? 54% loss in value. Hypothetical loss, not a real loss. We haven't sold, we haven't done anything, so buying price is gonna matter. Anyways, today we take a look here, everything down 65% from peak, and we are still have a net gain of 28%, mainly held up by Tage Thompson here, who started at 160 and is sitting at 245. But when we look at the 550 from when we had 1550, again, something you want to be thinking about on those cards that really go up in value. You know, you think of other guys this year, guys like Dawson Mercer who went up, which is why I'm not bearish on a lot of these guys. I don't mean to be like that, But when you see these big spikes, you really got to be prepared for the cards to go the other way. That's just the way that it goes. Most players aren't going to hold that value. I can't really find a card outside of Ovechkin, McDavid, Sid that hold the value through these times, that go up and hold that value. Everyone spikes up and then comes right back down to some extent. So we circle back to the original question, what do you do with Matthew Tkachuk? Leave a comment below, guys. I think you guys know what I do with him, but thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. We will check you.